we've got to discuss the XXL freshman list for 2025.
You can't be strategic about how you make music. It just has to come as natural as possible.
I just make all type of genre music. I just try to be different.
Pretty much what you see is exactly what you get.
To me, being a freshman meant you was recognized by the peers that you was gonna be the one.
Being on the list of the greatest of my time.
It's a good accomplishment.
Being a part of freshman is a dream come true.
All the legends done did it before.
Progress, really, the next up and coming artist gonna take over the game.
It's like history right here.
Feels like something to celebrate.
I'm meant for something, you feel me?
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, I just got back from the beach. I enjoyed the beach yesterday. It's 100 degrees, gang. It's wild out here. I hope you got a chance to get in some cool water with a cool beverage. I hope you got a pool in your backyard, a public pool, some kind of body of water that you can get in and cool down, right? Sprinkler, Mr. Sprinkler. You can get in the sprinkler, fire hydrant, whatever you got to do, but stay hydrated. I got a tan and all that good stuff back like that. But I am here. I'm ready to work. And what I saw today made me realize I got a lot of things to discuss in regards to this hip hop. I got quite a few videos coming forward in my first video today, which is way off course for me. I don't recall talking about the XXL list maybe once before, but this is not a thing that I dwell on and have a whole lot of a opinion on, because we're so far removed from that. Me being a hip-hop historian to a degree, right? I am somewhat of I could be a gatekeeper, but I feel like gatekeeping is so far removed. We can't gatekeep this shit no more, gang. I'm just going to be honest. They're doing anything. The labels are doing anything they want. The artists are doing anything they want. And the magazines are doing anything they want. I remember when XXL, the freshman list, forget it. That was like the holy grail. It was like the people that made that list, you wanted that, gang. You wanted that more than anything. That was the pinnacle of success for hip hop. Now, I want to have a conversation about this particular list and the whole concept of the list and where we are with hip hop itself. Who's to blame? I'm just going to say for the record, I went through this. I saw the list, and as we always do, us older guys, and then you're like, why this old head with this Wu-Tang shirt talking about the XXL freshman list? That's like a grown-ass professor in college talking about the ninth graders that just walked into the high school. Yeah, but they walked into my high school, my nigga, and this is hip-hop, so we're going to have a conversation. I know the old heads, we're not supposed to talk about this list, and we're not supposed to talk about hip-hop as a whole, but that's the problem, because we're ignoring this shit. We're ignoring these youngins. We're ignoring what's going on when they're picking this top 10 of hip-hop, the freshmen and this, that, and the third, and the old heads have no say-so. Now we got a basketball player on the list. This is what's coming to, gang. There's a basketball player on the list of the freshman class. A basketball player with one song is heading up the freshman class. This is what it's come to, because y'all motherfuckers won't say nothing. We need to speak on this. I'm just going to be honest, and I'm going to put the video in the beginning, and hopefully I don't get a copyright strike from the XXL people, but I'm sure they're going to leave it there because they're cool, right? I hope they leave it there, but if you don't see the video there, that means that I got hit with a copyright and I had to remove it. But these people that are on this list, I have nothing. First of all, they're younger artists, so I can't really say I got an issue or problem with them. I have a problem with the machine, the system that's going on, gang. I want to have this conversation because when I saw this list, like many of us have been doing, and you see it in the comments, who's this? Who are these people? I'm getting old. Well, it ain't necessarily that you are getting old. We getting old, gang. That's the problem. But at the same time, when they put out a list, they're supposed to be putting us onto something that we don't know. Now, the state of hip hop, I'm going to be honest, is putting XXL in a tough situation. They have to pick amongst a list of what the people are deciding what's hot. And the people are deciding a lot of stuff that is very similar. Okay? Very similar hip hop. This hip hop list, I went and listened to everybody on here. every name. I said I'm going to, before I do this video, I'm going to listen to every name, every artist. 1, 2, maybe 3 videos. I already knew Vaughn. Already knew Gelo for what that's worth. I already really ain't know many more people here. I've heard of this one and that one. I knew the 1900 Rugrat dude from a freestyle I saw, but I thought that was a spoof. See, what's happening right now, some of this shit looks like a spoof of hip-hop. I'm just going to be honest. So I want to have a conversation, and I want to talk about my experience from what I pulled from the freshman list, because you're going to say, Charles, you're an old head. You're looking for lyricism. You're looking at that. Lyricism should never be dead in a society that's trying to grow. We're trying to encourage minds and be smarter. You ain't got to be no freaking preacher, right? You ain't got to be no after school teacher, no substitute, but you do got to say something, and it got to be, at some point, have some consciousness to it. And it can't be a whole list of drill rappers and trappers. Because we are not just that. We got a whole lot of things going on. And it's not a full list of that, but a lot of these guys are drill rappers and trappers. I'm just going to be honest. So I want to talk about this. I want to read this article, which was on, I believe, XXL's site, or Hip Hop, Hot Hip Hop Now, or one of these things. And they're talking about it. So I want to talk about it. Okay, let's have a conversation. XXL reveals the 2025 freshman class. This XXL freshman class is headlined by newly turned rapper Gelo, aka LiAngelo Ball. That is a basketball player, for those who don't know. He has a couple brothers. They all play basketball pretty good, but we've never had a really good rapping basketball player. We may have had 3 tops. None of them should be freshmen on the list. I'm just going to be honest. So no, I don't know why he made it with the one song. He has another song with Glorilla, this and that and the third, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if this is what we got, I feel like he's riding the beat, but we got to decide what freshman class means. This is a lot to unpack. What does it mean to be a up and coming freshman? Does it mean I'm going to sell a lot of records? I'm going to stay hot? Like, what are we talking about when we talk about this list? Let me continue. Vaughn of TDE and Ian, based in Dallas. It's that time of year again as XXL is back to reveal the latest edition of their storied freshman class. This marks the 18th in the publication's history, and like always, it's already sparking passionate discourse online. But before that, here are the 12 artists who are selected out of the field of 68. So they have 68 artists, right? And I get it, gang, you got to sell these magazines. You got to put the people on here that's going to track numbers, this, that, and the third. I'm sure it's a lot that goes into picking that freshman class. And at the end of the day, it's about numbers, right? You got to have some controversy on that list, or nobody's going to talk about it. You can't put a whole bunch of spitters, right? You can't put a whole bunch of Chuck D's, right? And Kendrick Lamar's. First of all, they ain't around no more, but it's somebody out here telling some stories, gang. I see a lot of people. Listen, I know I am an older gentleman with a Wu-Tang shirt on. I get that. So you probably predisposed to think I'm only looking for a certain kind of hip hop. Gang, I watch a lot of hip hop. I see a lot of hip hop right now has moved to Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And a lot of times you can find new artists, good or bad or indifferent, on your TikTok, on your Instagram. And my Instagram algorithm is locked in as such. If somebody's spitting, gang, they coming down my Instagram. So it ain't like I don't hear this shit. I see black girls, white girls, black guys. I see groups of guys. I see all kind of people. There's a guy with no damn arms spitting like shit. Right? He got two short, teeny little arms. And this dude be spitting. Don't remember his name right now. It's so many people spitting that you can't remember all these names. But when we get these lists, it's all the trappers. All the dudes with platinum and gold on their neck with guns in the video. I'm just going to be honest. Take it how you want to take it. But most of the people on this list got a gun in their video and they talking about blasting somebody. I'm just going to be honest. Now, all of that has its place in hip hop. I'm not a fuddy-duddy where I don't want to hear you rapping hard. Listen, most of the stuff I listen to got guns, drugs, sex, violence, all that good shit. But a lot of there should be some balance to this shit. Okay? I feel like maybe hip hop itself is unbalanced. Maybe the fans of hip hop, because I went in all of these people's videos, I looked at the comments and people loved every single rapper on here. They got fans in their comments, regardless of what, that love them. So we can't say it's hip hop that's putting out trash. Well, people loving a lot of this trash that you calling it. So we got to have a discussion. Is it hip hop Or is it that it's just being pushed upon them, but people really rather hear something? Because I told you, I hear a lot of spitters, but they're not nowhere on this list. And they don't have a fan base that these people with the trapping and this and that. So is this all that people want to hear? Are we that dumbed down as a society that they only want to hear the trapping, the drilling, right? They want to hear you walking down your ops on live, and they want to hear about how much money and you busting down some chick in a hotel room and drinking some lean. Like, this is all they talking about. Most of them, I'm going to talk about the list, and I'm going to tell you, I listened to all of them. There were a couple standouts. 2 of them I followed because I thought they were, I could listen to, I thought they were pretty good. 2 of them. I already followed Vaughn. And I'm sorry, I did not follow Gelo. But I did go back to his thing again, Tweaking and the Glorilla track, the other track that he had. I listened to everything, so let me talk about it. In alphabetical order, the 2025 XXL freshmen are 1900 Rugrat, which is the white boy, has 1900 on his neck. I seen him before. I told you I seen him on the freestyle. And I told you I thought it was a parody. I'm just gonna be honest. Now, he can flow, but the subject matter is just I gotta be just as hard or harder than the black guys. And that's where we're at. I get it. He's at a disadvantage allegedly because he's white or what have you. So just like I always tell the story about back in the day when I was younger, in the hood, right? And we used to go to the nightclubs to show off everything you got. Your different crews are at the nightclubs, different gangs, this and the third. So I'm at the nightclub. And I saw one of the wildest gangs. Listen, one of the wildest, I'm not going to say gang, it was a crew. From a certain part of I'm from the DMV. And they was there, and they was bugging out, wilding. And I looked in that crew, it was about 20 of them out there just being who they are. And in the middle of them was it was a white guy. It was a white guy. He was on his phone doing something, some like cool shit. He was just chilling. He wasn't bugging out there like, they're doing whatever. And he's in the middle of them. And somebody leaned over me and said, that white guy runs that whole gang right there. That whole crew. And you know what we said? You know what he had to be? You know how tough that guy got to be to run that crew of these black guys? He was the money, right? He was the money of the thing. But he also has to show and prove what he's going to be fooled. So he has to do double of whatever they're doing. He got to be twice as rough as them. He has to put in twice as much work. So I guess Homeboy is doing his thing with this rapping like Homeboy that was running that crew, right? Now, the thing is that what we doing with hip hop? Like, does it have to be like all of this? You got to be tough with 4 guns and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting a little to the point where it ain't about the rapping no more. It's about how many times you gonna tell dudes you gonna buck them off and do this and the third to them. It's becoming a little, and I don't think, I'm just gonna be honest, I don't think they're that good at that. Like some of the people I listen to, they're better at it. They're just really good at the same thing these kids are doing with the drilling. People from my era with skills, they can do that just better. They're just better lyrically with it. It's more captivating. It's more engaging. It feel like now these guys got to feel like they barely want to say them. They're just speaking the words out. They're not even putting no effort into it. That's just me. Maybe I'm an old head. I'm from Wu-Tang. I'm from a different era where these guys really, really put these words together. It's just different. Let me continue. BabyChiefDoIt. Did I say that right? BabyChiefDoIt. He was another. I'm not saying nothing bad or good about it. I'm just saying I feel like most of these guys that they're putting on here are drill rappers. The list got to be more complete than that. And I know I'm generalizing people from 1 or 2 songs, but when you come on the video talking about drilling your ops, what else am I supposed to think? Right? And I'm going to say respectfully, I don't have a big problem with drill rap, but at the same time, I feel like I'm going to say something crazy. Out of all the elements of hip hop and rap, drill rap is one of the worst because they don't put no effort into it no more, as if they ever did. They don't take the time to make these lyrics more captivating, right? I think that it's just ABC, get the song out, keep it moving. Some people do it better than others, but for the most part, it's bottomless. It has no soul. It has no real purpose other than to be just like the other guy. You're not trying to be different. You're trying to be just like him. I'm just going to be honest. And no disrespect to this young kid, but it is what I'm just saying. Like, it got to be better rapping out here. I'm just going to be honest. Let me move on. Jaaybo. I watched this thing. It was very similar to the other stuff. Triplin I am Triplin was the first one that was different that I saw, and I felt like it was very Tyler the Creator-ish. I'm just gonna be honest. I felt like he had a very Tyler the Creator vibe to him, which is again like, you know what I mean? Like, are we just gonna? It's gotta be one extreme to the other, but it gotta be something that's already done. Now I'm gonna listen to him more of his stuff. I believe I did follow him, so I'm going to listen to more of his stuff and see how far it gets. But I feel like we gotta have even more balance. It can't be one extreme to the other. It's like you're drilling, you know what I'm saying? You're drilling over here, or you're Tyler. Like, it's like it gotta be some. And I love Tyler. It is what it is. Let me keep this pushing. Gelo, LiAngelo, Ball. No comment, because it's really not nothing to comment on. It's one record and then another record that Glorilla is carrying. I don't think the dude's that strong of a rapper. Not at all. Not at all. I think he got over by most of the hype about the track was how old it sounded. It sounded like some old school Cash Money is the Army, but it sounded like some old stuff from back in the day, some old Jeezy or some old, you know, so that's what the hype was. It wasn't that the song was so good. The young kids loved it, and the old heads was like, yo, this sound like 2006. And they pushed the song because it sounded like some old shit. It was more of they was clowning the song. Let me keep this moving. Sometimes I'm just too real, man. I gotta learn to pull back on some of this shit. Then you had Lazer Dim 700, you had Low Shimmy, you had Nino Paid, which I thought Nino Paid made what I like as such what I call pain music. So I did like Nino Paid, I'm gonna be honest. It was more of a realistic, like I gotta keep this a buck. I don't want to hear a guy that has no heart. I don't want to hear a guy that don't do nothing all day but look out, seek out, sell drugs, fuck bitches, and you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, that's not realistic. I'm just gonna be honest. And if that's really realistic, then you really might be a demon on demon time. If that's all you do all day, you don't kiss your mom, you know what I'm saying? You don't take your kids out to eat, like you don't go to the park with your child, like you know what I'm saying? You don't show somebody some actual love. It's just, let me fuck this bitch, they take off my belt, suck my dick. Like, it's like, yo, gang, what we talking about? So at some point, the rapping got to reach a different kind of demographic mentally. And I think that Nino Paid, which he's talking about his mom passed, this is just different things, right? So I feel like, I believe that's what the song is out. He have a song that he dropped on Mother's Day, this and that, Dear Mama, right? And it's just a lot going on. Vaughn is another one. He spit bars, telling real stories. They don't always end with him winning. You know what I'm saying? Getting head from your girl in the back of the truck. Like, it ain't always that. And I think that artists that don't have that storytelling ability to tell a real story, to be a real person, I don't think you deserve to be on the freshman list. Or the freshman list shouldn't be full of niggas that's just not got 100 Glocks, right? 100 gun, 100 clip. I don't think that should be the full list. But at the same time, the freshmen, their hands are tied at XXL because this is what we're giving them. This is what hip-hop is giving them right now. A bunch of drill stuff, a bunch of stuff with no soul, no heart. It's like the beats are the same. I went through one of these dudes. I bullshit you not. I went and it showed his mixtape on that same thing. So I clicked each, because on the whole video, it's the mixtape. So you could it separated each song. It was about 12 songs, whatever. Every song, I clicked it in the middle. And that shit sounded like the exact last song. And I'm like, this is what's going on right here. This shit has zero originality. These kids eating it up, right? Hundreds of thousands of views. They click and like, da-da-da. But you go in the middle of each song. I did it just, it was a social experiment. And in the middle of each song sound like the middle of the last song. It all sounded like trap that I had already heard before. Nothing original. They're not even trying, gang. They're not even trying. These young boys are not even trying. They don't give a fuck. They just trying to get the record out there and get paid. And that's where it's at. That's what hip hop has become. And I guess the freshman list is a combination of that. The next person on the list was Samara Sin. I did like Samara Sin. Samara Sin was different. Samara Sin, that's the thing. Their hands are tied. They don't have much to go on. And they can't do a whole list of Samara Sins either, right? So you got to have balance, this, and the third. But I feel like they real heavy on, it's like, shock value with some of these guys. Like Gelo Ball is a shock pick. Let's just be honest. You're doing that for engagement. Let's just be honest. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. And I know you're gonna say, well, he made a lot of records. He moved a lot of streams. He deserves to be. Why? How How far you think this guy really gonna go in rap? Let's just be honest. Really, let's just be honest. How far is Gelo gonna go in rap? After the gimmick shit wear off, after the nonsense wear off, and people get tired of this, like this little old school flow of this young kid, how far is this shit gonna go? How creative do you think he's gonna be? Right? And if the nigga blow up, feel free to use this clip at the beginning of your shit when you blow up. But at the end of the day, I'm not hating on the nigga, I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, the level of talent on this list, talent, pure skill, which I get it, it's hard to have skill when you got a field this wide of people. But end of the day, the level of talent on this list is limited. The last person on the list is YTB Fatt, which is another almost, I want to say drill rap. And I know I get it. I am being very, very close-minded when I'm judging you off one or two songs. But if I listen to one or two songs and they both are drill songs with you drinking lean and shooting your gun at niggas, what am I supposed to think? Okay? So, again, it's nothing wrong with that. I like as much hard shit as the next person. Styles P, Conway, Jada, right? Hard shit, da-da-da. But these guys were better at what they were saying. That's why they're going down in history as some of the best lyricists. And I get it's not that easy to be that good. They're just really, really good, but they come from a different era. This era is just about getting the numbers up, no matter how you can do it. If you can get a hot TikTok clip that goes viral, then you got it. You're good. This is where we are, right? And I feel like labels like Def Jam, who are signing these guys, and a lot of the people are making this lane for these kids to not have to do much but just figure out how to trick the algorithm. If you can move the algorithm and make people stream your shit, you're the next freshman. It ain't about how fucking good you are, it's that you can get that algorithm to move. Right? If you can get that algorithm to move, you're a freshman. And that's my problem with this thing with this. It seems like the XXL, that shit used to be the pinnacle of hip hop magazine. Now it's like, sad to say, this is where we are. They got to chase algorithms. They got to chase the kids' algorithms to keep their magazine running, right? I don't even know if they even print books anymore, right? So they got to chase the algorithm of these kids, which they say, young rappers and young man's game, da-da-da. And it's always been about numbers. Don't get it messed up. Don't get me twisted. They always had to find a way to beat the source numbers. They've always been in competition with the source for eyeballs and numbers and this, that, and the third. But at the same time, we're here now where it ain't even about your skill set anymore. Ain't about how good your music is. It's about how many views you got on your last couple videos, how many people can you put in the building, how many followers and subscribers you got, how viral can you go. That has nothing to do with skills. Nothing. And I get it's probably somebody in that room with the head down screaming like, yo, Samara, send please. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that person got that one vote in, but it's like where they are now, we have to figure out what do we care more about? Because there's a Tyler, the Creator out there that's never going to get the chance, right? There's a Raekwon out there that's never going to get the chance because you got 7 drill rappers, one like half a Tyler guy, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Cuz, but what I'm saying is there got to be more out there, right? And you'll say, look, you're an old head, you don't even resonate. I don't resonate with this shit, but we still hip hop, and they're carrying the banner. And I'm be honest, I like a lot of young people stuff when they do it that I can relate to it. And that's about that's what all hip hop is. If you can't relate to it, then it doesn't matter. It don't matter how good the person is. If nobody can relate, or I can't relate this, that, and the third, or you can, I'm only gonna relate to what I relate to, just like you. So end of the day, this is what I'm saying to you. It ain't much for a person like me to relate to on this list. I'm just gonna be honest. And I feel like they're not bad, good, or indifferent. It just needs to be more of a different breed. It should be more. If you're going to have a list of 12, I don't think you should have 8 of them be trap rappers. There's got to be other kind of rappers out here. And a lot of people I see in the comments, you ain't got this person, that person, da-da-da. I'm sure that hip-hop has more to offer than 60, 70% of the list is trap heads. I'm gonna leave it like that, man. I'm out of here. I ain't talking about this no more. Listen, head on over to black-yeti.com. Make sure you let them know who sent you. They send all over. They ship all over the continental U.S. All right, let me know what you think in the comments, man. Do you think the list was great? Do you think they hit the mark? Do you think they're working with what they got to work with? Or do you think this whole shit is bullshit? Let me know, man. I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.